Hello dear students, welcome to yet another session of data analysis for final year students. I am still your host Mbunya Neville, and today we are going to look at data pre-processing. So far we have seen how to collect data, we have seen how to design a questionnaire, how to make a reliable and valid questionnaire. We have seen how to collect data. That means we're going to use to collect data to reduce the time spent during analysis. So today we are going to begin pre-processing. Now, for this activity, we are going to look at a data set that was collected by a student, a final year student, an undergraduate final year student in the medical department. So we are going to examine the questionnaire. This is our questionnaire. This is our question. This is a data. Sorry, this is a data. If you look at the first row, the first row constitute the various questions found within the questionnaire. The various questions found within the questionnaire. Then, like I told you when we were doing questionnaire design and data collection, when you collect your data using either EpiInfo or Google Forms, you're going to have some additional columns within your data set, and these additional columns you will delete them. So at this point we're going to delete. Let's consider this participant and the groups is an additional column, even though when we are moving ahead it will not be recognized as an additional column because you're going to need it if we're using Max QDE. Okay, we are going to delete these. Okay, if we had an additional column as such, we're going to delete this additional column as such. So this is our data. This is the data we had. This is data. Let's assume this is the data we collected. Okay, yes, and each column represents a particular question. Let us extend this. Okay, now we are talking about pre-processing. What is pre-processing? Pre-processing is the act of examining your data. Okay, examining your data to check if there are abnormalities within the data, within the responses. Okay, so we are going to be performing this check. Pre-processing is the act of checking if there are missing data within the data set. Okay, pre-processing is that act of checking for grammatical errors within the data set. Okay, especially for close-ended questions. You get the point. So we are going to begin pre-processing today. If we look at this data, let's take the first column, the very first column, column A. If I look at this, I see between 20 to 30, between 20 to 30, and we have between 20 hyphen 30. Yes, YRS. Okay, this when you're setting the question age. Remember I told you in the previous videos, the previous lessons, that when you are designing a question in your questionnaire, you must have analysis in mind. Now if you have not watched that video, I will advise you to go and watch that video, and do not forget to like and subscribe the channel. Okay, if you are setting a question, you must have analysis in mind. So when we are setting age in our questionnaire, what do we want? What do we intend to analyze from the age we are setting? Are we there? Usually we want to get the mean age or the mean age group from our sample population. That is going to guide us in making valuable conclusions. Okay, so when you have between 20 hyphen 30 years, the computer doesn't understand what you have written. The computer sees characters as ones and zeros. Okay, so it's going to recognize this between 20 hyphen 30 years as a variable, or let's say an entity. Okay, let's say an entity. And now if we move, let's just scroll downwards. If you look at this, we have between 20 to 30 YRS. As a human being, you understand that between 20 to 30 YRS means between 20 to 30 years of age. Okay, but the computer does not understand that. The computer will see this as another entity. You get the point? So you have to make sure that if this is conveying the same information, then they should be the same in this column, so that when you are extracting relevant information, the relevant information should be uniform. That is what pre-processing is all about. Okay, now when we look at less than 20 YRS, this is equally a problem. What is your sample size? You are investigating participants in the university and you are putting certain age group for less than. Now I will understand this as you have a sample population that comprise of participants who are 2 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old, even 1 year old. You understand? This is what I can read from this, because strictly less than this. Okay, so we're going to redefine this when you are designing your questionnaire. Like I told you this in the previous video, when you're designing your questionnaire, you have to make sure that your sample population is guided, especially when you are setting the age or the age groups. Your sample population should be guided. Okay, now let us look at something else. When I look at this, I see between 20-30 YRS, and I have here between 20-30 YEARS. This is another information. The computer is going to recognize this as a third entity. Meanwhile, all of these are conveying the same information. You get the point? So this is what we are trying to eliminate from our data before we export this data into the analysis application. Now, for the analysis, we are going to begin with MaxQDA. So you get yourself ready with MaxQDA. MaxQDA is a sophisticated application that can perform both qualitative and quantitative analysis. Now, if you are using the standard version of MaxQDA, then your options, what we are doing in this video, you will not be able to carry out all of them. Okay, so I will advise you to get a license for MaxQDA and you use it to perform your analysis. You can get it from their website on Google. We're not going to go into that. If you just search on Google, MaxQDA will pop up and you get a license for yourself. Okay, now if you are performing qualitative analysis, okay, MaxQDA is the bomb. Like, yes, MaxQDA is the bomb. It's going to give you everything you need when you're performing qualitative analysis. So far I have used NVivo and I have used MaxQDA for qualitative study, and MaxQDA Med is good. So I will advise you to get MaxQDA, get license for it, and if you are using MaxQDA 22 version 22, it's going to be superb. But for this lesson we are going to use MaxQDA version 20. Okay, so let us begin. Now let us look at one more thing again in the age section. Now we have this age greater than 30 YRS. Okay, greater than 30, it means in your sample population we are expecting to see participants who are 200 years old or 199 years old. Okay, so be guided about this. You are investigating students in the university. Okay, I will expect you to define your age group to match your sample population, because now, not that this is wrong, it's not wrong, but then what is your sample population? It is needless putting an age range that is not found within your sample population. Okay, if every participant that is in your defense session is given the opportunity to ask you questions, you will not be able to answer this question, because the participant will say, okay, in your ages I see that you have greater than 30. Why did you define greater than 30 in your ages? Meanwhile, the sample population does not have anybody who is even above 50 years old. So this becomes a problem. Now, If you want to get the mean age or the mean age group, in the case of Max UDA, it's a little bit complex to get the mean age group, okay? But with SPSS, it will be easy for you to get a mean age group. Now, what is my advice? My advice is, if you are using Max UDA for your analysis, maybe you're performing both quantitative and qualitative study, I will advise you to get the age of participants and not the age group where they belong. Okay, get their ages and not the age group. But then let us go straight into pre-processing. Let us pre-process this column. How do we do this? We are doing this in Microsoft Excel. I choose Microsoft Excel because Microsoft Excel is easy for me to use. I have mastered some basics in Microsoft Excel. Okay, I have some knowledge in Microsoft Excel. I will not say broad knowledge, but I have knowledge in Microsoft Excel. Let's leave it at that point. Okay, yes, so we're going to perform pre-processing of this data. Okay, to begin this, we are going to be checking each column, a column at a time. Okay, so we'll begin with this column, then when we're done with this, we move to this, then we move to this, and so on. So the first thing I want us to do is first to give it a uniform font. So we have Times New Roman. I want to set everything to Times New Roman, so that, why am I doing this? So that this stuff that was in ARIA, let us go back and you see, okay, we have this is in Calibri, and if we move downwards, we have this is in ARIA. Okay, so I want it to be uniform. I don't want the computer to recognize that two separate entities. I want it to be uniform, so I'm going to give it Times New Roman. Everything within that column is now set to Times New Roman, and I'm going to set it to font size 12. Okay, now let us begin. We have between. Now if you look at this, this is starting with lowercase, so there are so many things in this data that is a problem. This is lowercase between, and if we move downwards, we have uppercase between. This is a problem, and we are having two, and at this point we are having hyphen. Okay, so we want to change all of this. Let's begin. Now to begin this process, we go to find and select. So we click on that, we take replace. Now a new window is going to open up as such. I want us to select this entire column. Now you cannot even select, just allow it like that. So I want us to copy this first between, like that, and I want us to paste it where we have find what. You paste it, let us paste it inside. Now no format set. I want us to select this entire column, then we go to format. I don't want any problems. Go to format, you click on that, select it again. Okay, this is happening as such because I had used this, I'm just from using this recently, but normally when you open this find and replace, you're not going to have any okay, let's begin it again. Let's start it all over. When you click on find and replace, it's going to appear like this. Now let us go to options. Before we do anything, let us go to options. Okay, now format. Before we select anything, let us go to format. Let's select this text, copy this text. You come where we have find what, you paste it inside find what. Then what do you want to replace with? You are finding this from this column, okay, and we are replacing with 15-20. 15-20. Okay, now it is asking no format. Okay, no format. I want us to select this column. You see, you may not have preview here, you may have format. Okay, I want you to click on clear. Yes, clear. So it is going to appear as such. When you open this, is going to appear as such. No format set, no format set. I want you to click on format, and I want you to choose format from cell, and I want you to choose this entire column. How do you choose this entire column? You come over you come to the column A where you have A and you click on it. Next, I want you to take format again, where you are replacing, you choose from cell, and I want you to come here and you click again. Now you see we are having preview. Okay, now the next thing you are supposed to do is to find all. When you are finding all, make sure that this is a column that we are searching through. So let's take find all. You see we are having the dollar sign, we are having A, we have the dollar sign, we have 2. This means we are at column A, row 2. Are we there? So in column A, row 2, we have the first text, the first item. Are we there? So let us replace all. So we are replacing all. Good. We have all done. We made 70 replacements. I'm gonna take OK. Are you there? All done. We made 70 replacements. If you look at the column H now, it has changed. Okay, it has changed. All done, we made 70 replacements. Now if you look at this, we are having this 15 to 20 and this has not changed because we are having 2 and not hyphen. So I am going to copy this also, since it is conveying the same information, and I'm going to paste it inside here. Then I'll find, it's still saying no format. Okay, we select that. Good. So I'll find all. We are checking again. So you have $A, $94. So the first is beginning, the first is found at column A, row 94. So I will replace all. We have all done. We have made 99 replacements. You see now this is the same as this. Okay, and it's the same as this. They are now uniform. They are conveying the same information. And this we replace with 15 to 20. No, we're not supposed to replace with 15 to 20. We're supposed to start with the lesser value. Okay, so we have 20. No, so we are just going to change 15 to 20 to 21. So I'll put here 15 to 20, and we're changing this to 21 to 30. Find all. Good. So replace all. 169 participants. Yes, remember we had, the first was 70 participants, then we had 99 replacements. So it should give us 169 replacements. Correct. Okay. We take OK. Now we have greater than 30. We are equally going to change this to, 31 to 40. 31 to 40. Let us find all. Let us find all and let us replace all. Good. 31 to 40. Now we have less than 20. Let us give this 15 to 20. Less than 20. Let us give it 15 to 20. 15 to 20. Find all and replace all. Good. 19 done. Why are we having double? Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. So we're just going to copy this and we paste it there, and now we remove one hyphen. Find all and we replace all. Good. It's perfect. Now let's check. You see that we have performed pre-processing here and it is now looking nice. Now we have between 20 to 30 years. Why has this not changed? Why has it not changed? Let us just copy this and we replace it with, paste this, replace it with 21 to 30. Find all, replace. Good. Now we have between to 20 years as well. We copy this, we paste it there, and yes, we're replacing with that. Where is the B? Oh, sorry. Okay, we're pasting it there. We find all and we replace. You see, now this column is looking nice. We have less than 20. Okay, now if you look at this less than 20 is having a full stop at the end, so it's a problem also. Okay, it's a problem. Less than 20 should be 15 to 20. 15 to 20. Good. So find all. Oh, so many of them, eh? Find all. So replace all. So many of them. Okay, so you have to check all through. Okay, you have to check all through. So if you check this column, it's now looking clean. This is the data we will get if we perform analysis if we perform data collection using the methods I have explained to you in the previous videos. That is using EpiInfo and using Google Forms. Okay, let us look at the data. Let's look at the data we collected using Google Forms. Where is analysis? Where is health questionnaire? If I extend this, now let's look at these ages. How old are you? You see how the ages appear? You see marital status, you see Christianity. Everything is uniform because this was designed in Google Form. This was designed using Google Form. Then we exported the data. Now if you look at this timestamp, these are some of the arbitrary columns I told you at the beginning of this session that we may have in the data that we export from these platforms. Okay, so if we have this data as such, we will not have any reason to perform pre-processing because everything will be clean. That is why it is imperative for you to go and watch the videos on how to design a questionnaire properly and how to collect data properly and how to export that data into Microsoft Excel. Are we there? Good. And if you have not liked this channel, I will urge you to like the channel and subscribe. Okay, good. So let us go back to our pre-processing. So we have this column. Complete. Are we there? This column has been pre-processed completely. Everything is now looking neat the way we need it. The data that is there, they are all conveying the same information. Okay, and they are uniform. Okay, now let us look at the next case. We are looking at marital status. We have single, we have divorce, we have married. You see, all of these are lowercase letters and they are Calibri. And then when we move downward, we have single. This is area. Divorce is starting with uppercase D, and these are all upper cases. You get the point? These are all upper cases. So we are going to set this first to Times New Romans as before. Set everything to Times New Romans as before. You set the font size to 12. Now we have unified this data. Okay, irrespective of your cases, we have unified the data. So let us begin making them looking alike. So this single, we're going to copy this and I drop it in fine, and I want to change it with single that starts with uppercase S, like that. You see, no preview. So I'm going to select this. We have a preview there. Always make sure you select it from, choose from cell. Do this so that you avoid problems that may arise when you perform the search. Okay, now we have done so. Let us find all. Always make sure you find all first before you replace. Don't take find and replace all at once. Okay, find all first. Check the column, check the cell. If the cell matches where it's supposed to be, at this point I should have the $sign, then I should have B, and I should have the $sign, then I have the number of row. If you look at this, I am having what I just explained. So if you scroll through right to the bottom, make sure that you are not having another column, because if you're having another column, then that tells you that when you perform this replace operation, it's going to replace everything in the other columns that do not affect this. So you have to ensure that you perform this check when you are doing pre-processing. So we are all set in this column. So let us replace all. You see, we have 172 replacements made. See all of this, but I still see some lower cases. Okay, I'm going to copy this. I don't know why it refuses. I'll paste it inside there. And I'll select this, then I'll find again. You see, I still see single, even though I've said replace all. So I'm going to replace all. Okay, good. You see, we have 27 replacements. Now I see that everything is now in uppercase. Everything is now in uppercase. Yes. Now let us look at the case of married. Okay, we have married. Yes, this is married, lowercase. Let us give it uppercase as well. We paste it there, and we're having married. So let us select this again to make sure that we have this preview. Okay, good. We have that preview. I want us to make sure we are there. Always be sure that you are there. Pre-processing is not something you want to do over and over. Always be sure that you're there. Okay, so find all. Good. We have this as such. This tells us we are within where we want to be. And now let us replace all. Good. We have made 11 replacements. Okay, good. We've made 11 replacements, but I still see one here. Married. So I'll select this again and I'll find all. I get yes, replace all. 15 replacements. Good. 15 replacements. Let us check. 15 replacements made. Okay. Replacements made. Okay, I think we are good to go with the married and the single people. Yes, we are good to go. Now divorce. Let's copy this. This is lowercase. We feed it there, and we give this uppercase. Make sure we preview it. Then let us find. We have one hit. Let's replace that. Perfect. So you see, this column is set for analysis. We have this level of education, yes, integer, level 4, level 3, level 1, and so on. It's perfect. This column is equally set for analysis. Now we have yes or no. For this yes or no questions, it will probably, let us just take something here. I want you to observe this column D and this column J, because they are carrying yes or no. I want you to observe what is going to happen. So we want to change this yes to uppercase yes, because when we scroll down, I see uppercase yes here and I see uppercase no. We don't want that. Okay, the computer is going to recognize this as separate information. Meanwhile, they are conveying the same thing. So let us copy this yes. We copy this yes. We drop it in fine. And we want to change it to uppercase. What I've asked you to do is to observe what is going to happen here. So now, let's select this. Oh, I'm just gonna shrink these columns. Yes, I'm gonna shrink those columns. Let's select that. Okay, now go to format. I want us to select this, and we format this. I want us to select this. Okay, we've selected. Now let us take fine. We have that. If you check here D, everything is within D. Let us replace all. We have now, look at what has happened. Look at what has happened. We have replaced all for D. Even though we have previewed D, we have replaced all for D. But how many hits do we get? 1,196 replacements. What does that tell you? This column also, I, has been replaced. All the yeses in these columns and that of J has been replaced. That is why we are getting 1,196. Are you there? So these are some things you have to take note of. Now in your in-text, should I call it citation or what? If you are having yes within some text, it's equally going to replace it. You get the point? It's equally going to replace it. So check this column, make sure everything is set in this column. Don't bother about the other columns. Go to each column at a time and check. You understand? So now let us look at the no. We copy this and we feed it there. Good. So we have within sheet, search by row, search by columns. Let's change to search by columns, okay? Because I think this is because we set it to search by row that we had to perform all these. We had to perform 1,196 replacements. Okay, so let's select this column again, and we have the preview. I want to be sure that I'm there. Yes, even though the preview is telling me I'm there, but I want to be sure. Okay, so we have this, and I'm going to find all. Now let us perform search by role and see what we get. Okay, good. We have search by column, sorry, replace all. We have 608 replacements. You see that even when we are performing search by role and search by columns, it gives us the same thing. You get the point? It gives us the same thing. So you have to take note of this. Okay, you have to take note of this. Yes, you see that all of this has been formatted. All of it has been formatted. But then I see that these fonts, the fonts are not the same. So I'm just going to select this and I give them a uniform font. Sorry, this is not where it's supposed to be. I give them a uniform font. Yes. And I give it a font size that is uniform. You get the point? So this basically is what we mean by pre-processing. Okay. Now, so when you have this data, this is what you'll be carrying out at the stage that we call pre-processing. This is what it is. This is what is expected of you. This is what you are supposed to do before you move into analysis. Are we there? So we are going to stop this class at this point, and in the next lesson we are going to have, or we are going to begin analysis. By then we will have processed all of this. Like I said, this questionnaire is not proper. Okay, it's not proper. For instance, let's look at this question. What is menstrual hygiene? What is menstrual hygiene? We have 228 participants, and when I look at these responses, this candidate or this researcher made these responses a close-ended question. You cannot say that out of 228 persons, there are just 4 definitions of menstrual hygiene, and one of the definition is I don't know. You get the point. This, you have reduced the depth of your research. I keep saying this. You have reduced the depth of your research. So it is advisable you make this question an open-ended question. And in the next lecture or next lesson, we are going to see how to analyze open-ended questions. Okay? How to analyze open-ended questions. It is important we learn how to do this so that our research or our end of year thesis will be good, will be perfect, and it will be easy for us to analyze. Okay, so see you in the next session. If you have not liked the channel, please like the channel and subscribe to this channel so that I can maybe someday in the nearest future, about 20 years from now, start getting support to make more videos like this. Okay, thank you.